Hi guys, my name is Elena and today we are doing my 26-week pregnancy update for baby number 3. So let's start off with a belly shot first of all. So here is the 26-week baby bump for baby number 3. Now I am currently a mommy of 2. I have a 4-year-old little boy named Calvin and an almost 3-year-old little boy named Eren. And we are pregnant with baby number 3, who we do not know the sex of, and we're trying not to find out until baby's birthday. And you may hear them. Both of the boys are upstairs here with me as I'm filming this video. They are jumping on the bed and running around like crazy people. So first of all, this past week I have definitely gotten some comments about the bump being big. My mom said something like, "Oh, Elena, you're gonna be giant by the time this is over." And then my mother-in-law was like, "Wow, it's like your bump just popped out of nowhere." And even my husband was like, after I told my husband that I had gotten both of those comments, he was like, "Well, I don't want to sound like everybody else, but like your bump is looking really big." So I've totally noticed it. Everyone else is noticing it. This thing is growing gigantically. If you've watched any of my other updates, you know baby has been measuring ahead. So I haven't had a doctor's appointment this week. I was supposed to have one just yesterday, but they had to change it until Friday, and so you won't hear about that appointment until next week's update. So this week we don't have anything like medical, no like measurements and stuff to talk about, just like symptoms and things that have been happening in my pregnant life this past week. So if you have watched any of my other updates or any of my other pregnancy videos, you know that with my first son, Calvin, I did have premature rupture of membranes at 32 weeks, and then I was in the hospital from 32 weeks to 37 weeks when he was born. With Eren, my second son, things went much better, but I still had polyhydramnios, which is high fluids, which is something that I had with Calvin, which may have been the cause of my water breaking early, because he was measuring big and I had a lot of fluid and it was just a lot of stress on my uterus. So we have had complications in the past. I am currently seeing the maternal fetal medicine doctors as well as my regular doctor, and so I normally get to go to the doctor a lot lately, and it does kind of put your mind at ease. Just, I don't know what it is. I feel like maybe this past week or a couple of weeks here I've felt a lot more anxiety because I haven't seen the doctor lately and I don't know exactly how big my bump is measuring. And since getting all those comments from people being like, "Oh my gosh, your bump is just gigantic," it's like, I know, and those kind of comments really make me feel really paranoid and not good and just worried about, are things gonna go stupid like they did with Calvin because my bump was giant with Calvin? You know, like just those kind of comments really bother me because of the history of having complications with my other 2. And so I will definitely say this past week the anxiety has been like very high. The pregnancy high risk worries are just very high this week. I just have some lotion on my hands. So I haven't seen the doctor in a few weeks and I really just want to go see the doctor. Like, I'm ready for the 3rd trimester having to go all the time. Like, I'm ready to see the doctor all the time because I feel like sometimes it puts my mind at ease and sometimes it does make me feel more worried, but like right now at this moment in this past week, I just want to go back to the doctor and like make sure everything is going okay. Now with that being said, I am not looking forward to the glucose test. I'm not going to have it at my coming appointment, but it will probably be the next appointment after that. And I'm really kind of paranoid about it this time around. I did totally fine with both of the boys. I only had to take the first 1-hour test and everything looked good. But this time around, I'm like super paranoid about it and I don't quite know why. Baby is measuring big, which can be a sign of gestational diabetes, but also having high fluids can also be a sign. And this time, at least so far, my fluids aren't high. So at least I have like one thing going for me. But the one thing honestly that's making me paranoid about it is my sister just had her baby here in January and she was gestational diabetic during that pregnancy, and so I'm like, OMG, like if my sister had it, I'm totally gonna have it, you know? So I don't know why. That's a silly thing to say and to think, but it's totally going through my mind lately. Now I have been doing less yoga lately and more meditations. So I wasn't doing like a ton of yoga and it was really just like stretch based. It wasn't like anything extravagant at all. It was very relaxing and stretchy and just, you know, trying to get your hips feeling good and your back feeling good, you know, like just trying to make my body feel good because it's like things are starting to hurt right now. But lately this past week I've been more focused on meditation and just trying to calm that anxiety that I was talking about. I have definitely noticed that showering is becoming a workout. That was one thing that I hated with both of the boys. Like, you want to get in the shower to like relax and get clean and just like have some mommy time by yourself, you know? But like cleaning a giant body and just stretching and moving and shaving your legs and like everything is just so tiring. It's very tiring taking showers these days. So I have been noticing more contractions lately, and even if they are just Braxton Hicks, they still have me worried because I had lots and lots of contractions with my second son, Eren, and I was even prescribed a pill called Procardia to help calm those down, and I am prescribed it this time around again just in case I do start having like way too many contractions. So I just try to take it easy. I'm almost putting myself like on kind of like a most of the day bed rest thing, like couch rest thing. Like, I'm definitely laying down a lot more. Anytime I get up to like make lunch, like stand in the kitchen for a while or do dishes, you know, like to be up standing for a while, I totally have lots of contractions. And so I do have a belly support belt that I bought with Eren, I believe, my second pregnancy, and I've been using that anytime I have to stand up for a while, and just that little bit of extra lift on the belly really makes things feel more comfortable, and I feel like I have less contractions when I have that belt on, so that makes me happy. Anytime I step foot in the kitchen for more than just a minute, I always try to put that belt on just so I can feel more comfortable and less paranoid. So I've totally been laying on the couch a lot more. I noticed that even if I'm just sitting up on the couch like this, I still will have some contractions. But if I'm laying on my side with my belly laying on the couch where it's kind of supported by the couch, it feels like I have no contractions. Like, I hardly ever have a contraction when I'm laying sideways like that. So I do try to lay like that a lot of the day just because I'm so paranoid about, you know, all the stupid things that have happened in the previous pregnancies. I just don't want anything like that to happen this time around. Now, this is my first pregnancy as a stay-at-home mom, and so I have the ability to take the time to lay. You know, I couldn't lay when I was at my desk at work, and so it feels really nice knowing that I'm at home and I can stay at home and I can do what I need to do in order to make this pregnancy be good. So it does feel nice. So I am officially up 20 pounds, which means I gained 5 of those in the past like 3 weeks, I believe, which is not good. But to be up 20 pounds right now makes me feel good because at this point with both of the boys, I was up probably closer to the 30-pound mark. And so far this pregnancy, my weight gain has been a little bit better than it was with both of the boys. And with both of the boys, I gained 50 pounds. So we're trying to avoid that this time, but who knows? I do feel like I'm breathing more heavily. I feel like I have to take like massive breaths to get like real breath into my lungs lately. My husband has also mentioned that I've been snoring at nighttime, so that's great. I've definitely been having heartburn at bedtime, which is something that I've had kind of off and on throughout the pregnancy. Some nights it's kind of tough to fall asleep. I do have a little bit of like a couple of nights ago, I was up until like almost midnight when I tried to go to bed at like 9 o'clock, and I was like, what on earth is going on? So some nights I do just like have a terrible time falling asleep. And it's not necessarily that my mind is really racing, it's just that I can't fall asleep. And on the other side of that, I'm totally still taking naps throughout the day. I try to nap probably every other day or something. Like, I like naps. They make me happy. Now, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is something that I don't even know if I really want to share, but along with the anxiety about high-risk complications and stupid things happening, I've been really, for the first time, questioning whether or not we want to have another baby. You know, like really thinking, maybe this is our last baby. And I haven't really felt like that, like strongly throughout the pregnancy, I don't think. But this past week, just being so big and already miserable at only 26 weeks and just knowing it's only going to get worse from here on out, and hoping that I don't have this anxiety every freaking day from here on out. Like, all of those things are just like really making me question whether or not we want to have 4 kids. Me and my husband have always talked about having 4. We've always wanted to have 4, but we did go into this pregnancy saying and knowing that if stupid things happen, this will be our last. And if it's just too stressful, this will be our last. Like, we know in the back of our minds that number 3 could be our last baby, even though we've always wanted to have 4 babies. And so this week, for the first time, I've really started thinking that. Like, I've really started being like, maybe this is really it. Maybe this is my last pregnancy. And it's like, you know, it's kind of gets me worked up just even thinking about that. But at the same time, like, you know, what if we've been pushing our luck this whole time, you know, like, and what if something really bad happens with number 4, and, you know, and if we would have just not tried to have number 4, it wouldn't have happened, you know, like, there's all kinds of, like, really paranoid, like, crazy things going on in my head where it's like, what if we're just pushing our luck by trying for a number 4? Like, maybe we should just quit while we're ahead, essentially. So yeah, that's where my mind has been this past week. Those are all the symptoms and things that have been happening. I do hope you guys enjoy these updates. I like filming them every week. I love looking back on the ones from Calvin and Eren. If you're interested in any of those, I will leave links to those playlists down below for both my other 2 pregnancies. I hope you guys are enjoying these updates. If there are other pregnancy related or cloth diaper related or any mommy related things you want me to film for you guys here on this channel, just let me know down in the comments below. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.